Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Watch Natalie, spelled Natalee. I'm here to do a very special psychic daily tarot reading for you today. I've been guided to do all of the signs in terms of the solar eclipse next week. It's on, Christmas, the 25th, the 26th, depending on where you are on the planet and depending on whether you celebrate Christmas or not. So I'm going to be using my brand new deck, the dailies deck. Thank you so much to one of my former Querents who got a reading with me and sent this to me. It was so sweet and thoughtful. Thank you, my dears, so much. I love it. I love it. I feel the love. I feel very fortunate to have such great Querents like I do. So thank you, my dear. I appreciate it. Okay, my loves. So what we're going to do is go through all of the 12 signs, and I'll sort of pull a card that is meant to be your focus. It's going to be something that that is either something that you're going to be focusing on in terms of working through and growing through, or it's a clue of something to come, or it's a warning. I mean, really, we'll see what comes through, and I'll use that as the sort of psychic kickoff point to see, what else I get from that. Okay, so everyone's going to get one card, and then I will spend maybe, let's see. Yeah, about 4 or 5 minutes on each sign. So if I'm going to try the time stamping. I haven't done it quite yet, so I'll see how I do with it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, so just before I get into it, before I begin, and I'll begin with, we're technically still in Sagittarius season, so I'll start with Sagittarius and then we'll move down the list. Before I get into it, this came up in personal readings today. As you know, I'm getting them all done before the first of the year, and then after January 1st, I'm going back to the 7-day turnaround. Come heck or high water. I should have just said hell, right? Come hell or high water. Okay, so I'm on track with getting all of the readings out by the 1st. So that's literally 2 weeks from today is December 31st. So getting back to the 7-day turnaround is going to be so much better for all of us. I feel like I'm going to redo the website and take all that other stuff down. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure everyone else is too. So anyway, so this came up in a couple of different readings today where they channeled to me to look towards January 5th to January 6th of this year, 2019, because that was when, and I looked it up, and it's when we had the partial solar eclipse in Capricorn. It was a partial, so it wasn't fully, but it will be next week. Next week is the annular solar eclipse in Capricorn. So it's going back to January. Make sure you take a look to see what was going on in your life and what were the issues that were coming up for you. Was it personal authority, external authority? Was it home and family? Was it your resources that you share with another person, such as with a spouse or with a child or with your family? Did it have something to do with communication? Was that really difficult for you? Was there trouble with your siblings? Was there trouble with your friend groups or the associations that you belong to? Was there a little bit of a crisis in your belief system at that time? Really go back to that time in your life and see what was, coming up for you, because you've had this entire year to work on it. And when this solar eclipse hits, and we're kind of already in that energy, but as we move into 2020, as we close out this decade, it's those very same issues that are going to be front and center. So, okay, I spoke my piece, and we begin with Sagittarius. What is the message for Sagittarius? 1, 2, 3. The 5 of Swords. Way to start out really strong, Sagittarius. Oh my God. The 5 of Swords. So let the visual vibrations wash over you first, my dears. This is absolute conflict. Absolute conflict. And if we take a look at our little, Sagittarius starts the wheel right here, and then number 2 is Capricorn. So the solar eclipse is going to be taking place in your second house, Sagittarius. Oh, I better keep an eye on the time. In your second house of income, of your resources, what you have to work with, what you are earning, the money that you have on hand. So with the Five of Swords, make sure that you are not overspending, Sagittarius. Make sure you are not overestimating your income. Make sure that you are not fighting with others about money. Now, this does rule your money, so you might have to defend your money, defend your right to have your own money even. Excuse me. You know, it might have to be a little bit of a battle or a little bit of a contentious situation between you and someone that you love or that you care for, or if you're sharing a household with someone, there could be a lot of fighting over how money is being spent, how you know, resources are being allocated, because the second house for you, it's, you could even be sort of, depending on how your chart works and things happening in your chart, there could be you holding onto the purse strings quite tightly, and then someone else saying, come on, loosen those purse strings, let's have fun, or let's do this. And you might be the one, Sagittarius, to go, no overspending, no overestimating, you know. So either way, there's going to be some conflict. Either way, there's going to be, I'm also picking up competition with this. Hold on. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Ooh, be very careful, Sagittarius. I am getting ruthlessness. I am getting ruthlessness with this. So for some of you, it could be a call to be a little bit more ruthless in terms of protecting yourself and upholding your financial boundaries. For others of you, it's a warning against being ruthless, as in do not be ruthless, do not be all or nothing, do not, you know, make these really big lines in the sand with anyone, okay? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that one back. Oof. Yeah, no, I got that ruthlessness very loud, very clear. So just be very careful, Sagittarius. Also be careful of people around you being ruthless, okay? Okay, that was Sagittarius. Now we're on Capricorn. Capricorn for the solar eclipse. Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, the 10 of Cups. I love it. Whew, I'm just kidding. 10 of Cups, happiness, Capricorn. Yay! So the solar eclipse for you, Capricorn, is going to be a great one. So now this can go either way in terms of January 5th, 6th of this year could have been miserable. Could have been miserable. Doesn't mean that just because we got 10 of Cups. First of all, look at that beautiful little card, right? God, is that hilarious? You know, not to say that it was all sunshines and rainbows this year. I feel like it really was more likely the other way around. It was more likely that January was really rough and hard for you, and that over this whole year, let's see, this is your first house, Capricorn. So it's your first house of the self. Who you are has been undergoing massive reconstruction, massive shifts taking place, massive overhauls of the personality. And what you get by next week is a wonderful sense of satisfaction, of emotional fulfillment, emotional satisfaction. And I'm just getting satisfied. They're telling me satisfied. Like not happiness, satisfied. Like you're very satisfied. You could be pleasantly surprised when you look back over the year from January. Where did you start the year, Capricorn? And then where are you ending it now? Because you could be very surprised at how far you've come. And it might not feel like you're very far, because it never feels like you're far. When you're a Capricorn, you're always just like, we're like our own slave drivers, seriously. So if you just take a chill pill and if you just take a break and you just give yourself that moment to reflect back on the beginning of January of 2019 and see where you were and look at where you are now, even just emotionally, not even counting your baubles and your bank account and your this and your that, just take a look at it and see where you are. And I think you will be very, very, very happy with what you find. 10 of Cups happy, in fact. Okay, so for you, the solar eclipse is going to be heralding a really beautiful time, a really beautiful, and I feel like because you have the 10 of Cups happiness, I feel like you have been working on this being you. You have been working on yourself all of 2019. You've been forced by Pluto and Saturn to change and again and again and again and change faster, pivot, pivot, pivot. So this is all serving to solidify who you are, solidify what you're really about, Capricorn, so that moving into 2020 and moving into the next decade and beyond, that you stand strong in who you are and you're standing in a place of emotional satisfaction, okay? Emotional maturation. So well done you. Congratulations to all the Cappies. Very cool. Okay, so that's Cappy. Let's do a shuffle for Aquarius, please. Aquarius. What do we have? Solar eclipse for Aquarius and Capricorn. We have the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, Aquarius. Let's see. This would be... Oh my gosh. Hold on. Did I do that backwards? For Sagittarius. Give me a second here. Hold on. Let me put myself together. No, I did that right. Okay. So for Aquarius, yeah. So for Aquarius, January is behind you. January, February. So this is your 12th house, Aquarius. Oh my gosh. I feel like for you, the solar eclipse. Now remember to look back on January to see where you were, what you were doing, what was going on. But I feel like this is actually going to be someone around you that's going to help you. That's going to help you sort of, because in the 12th house, it's the house of secrets, of sorrows, of self-undoing. It's the subconscious mind. It's very behind the scenes. So I feel like with a person showing up there, I feel like it's someone helping you. And it's like you have a supporter. You could have a supporter behind the scenes, someone you don't know about, someone that you maybe even forgot about. Could be a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. Does not have to be Aquarius. But I feel like the solar eclipse is going to put your focus and put your attention onto this person in some way, shape, or form where, and I feel like some of you really resent asking for help. I totally understand that. I totally get it. However, there is someone that like loves you and wants to help you. So look back on January of this year, of 2019, and see what you were doing, see what was going on, because I really do feel like there is value in at least keeping up this contact, at least keeping up this relationship with whoever this is. I feel like you have someone around you that is really invested in you doing well for yourself and helping you get to a place of either financial stability, like the King of Coins, or just long-term longevity. And it's something that you need help with that you just don't see about yourself, Aquarius. So this solar eclipse in Capricorn in your 12th house is going to help bring that to the surface of your attention. Okay, so just keep an open mind, keep a lookout, see what comes up, see what's shown to you, because I do feel there is an energy around you that is very supportive of your success and, more importantly, of your independence. So it'll be done very respectfully in a way that does not feel like you're taking a handout. They would never make you feel that way. That's not what I'm getting from this. It's not a handout energy. It's like an ally. Thank you. They're telling me it's an ally energy. Okay, Aquarius, so keep that in mind. Excuse me. Okay, so that was Aquarius. Pisces. What do we have for Pisces for the solar eclipse in Capricorn, please? We have the Four of Pentacles. Oh no. Oh no. That's actually important for someone. I don't know why. Someone doesn't like hearing the word no. The Four of Pentacles. This is about being... It's actually interesting because it's the exact opposite energy I associate with Pisces. because the Four of Pentacles is about holding on, holding on, holding on. And when you hold on so tight, you don't open yourself up for anything new to come through. It's a block of the energy. So it's really, really interesting that this is coming up for you, Pisces. Here, take a closer look at this guy. Excuse me. What I'm drawn to in this particular pictogram is how she's watching this person who's messing with this ropey thing that has this person's attention. Okay. This person, so it's really sort of discombobulated, sort of very much disjointed. And what I'm getting from this Pisces is a little bit of misdirection or like a misattention. Now let's see. So Capricorn would be your 11th house. Aha, okay. Cat, okay. So your 11th house, your solar 11th house, if you're a solar Pisces, make sure to watch for your sun, moon, rising, all that stuff. Okay. Pisces, this feels like you are... The solar eclipse for you, now this year of 2019 should have really changed and opened up your associations in terms of the boards that you sit on, who you're fraternizing with, the clubs that you belong to, the friends that you have, and really I'm getting very specifically the support of your career. That 11th house supporting that 10th house is what they're showing me. What I'm getting with you though is that you're actually focused elsewhere. And you're holding on, it's your attention. They're telling me that it's your attention that you're holding on to, that you're focusing. You might be focusing on the what instead of the who. And you need to be focusing on the who, Pisces. The what as well, but it's very specific about the who. Who. Okay. Okay, that's Pisces. Let's see, let's do Aries. Let's do a nice little shuffle for Aries, please. Okay, Aries, the solar eclipse in Capricorn. That's going to be your 10th house for all of my Aries. The sun. The sun. Look at that, Aries. Beautiful energy. Look at that crazy looking card too, right? Oh my gosh. The sun. Here comes the sun, Aries. So if you've been having difficulty with authority figures, with your own internal authority, you had all of 2019 to fret about it and work through this energy and, you know, go back and forth. You could have had difficulties with your sons, your husbands, your brothers, your nephews, your cousins, your bosses, okay, your clients at work. It could have been demanding that you change and you pivot and you adjust and you mature and you grow through. And this is really giving us the indication that it's about to get a lot easier. It's about to get a lot smoother, provided that you've been doing the work this entire year, which with Saturn and Pluto and Capricorn, it's like we've all been put through the ringer. We've all been put through some sort of incredibly difficult Capricornian, Saturnian, Plutonian testing. Okay, we have so much in Capricorn right now. February features so much Capricorn influence. So it's not even like this is over, okay? This is another eclipse in the series of family of eclipses in the Capricorn Cancer axis. I know I'm talking a lot of astrology stuff, but it's relevant, okay, guys? Just take the energies of what I'm saying and just, you know, take what resonates, just discard the rest. But this is telling us that there's about to be a really lovely illumination for you, Aries. A really lovely illumination in terms of your awareness of your own personal authority and a really healthy respect for other people's authority as well. So if there has been contention, if there's been, you know, roadblocks and disagreements, I feel like you're about to enter after, you know, as we end this year and this decade and moving into 2020 and beyond, that you're going to find that you have more equal footing, that there is more of an equal give and take between you and these figures that there are authority issues with, okay? Be careful of pride. Always be careful of the pride. It can come back, you know, quicker than you know, in a very quick reaction. So just be mindful of that. But otherwise, I think you guys are going to be great. I think it's going to be just fine. Okay, so that was Aries. Let's do a shuffle for Taurus, please. Taurus, and then the solar eclipse in Capricorn, please. The Chariot. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful card, Taurus. The Chariot. Could be a Cancerian that you're dealing with. Whatever, let's see, this would be for you, your 9th house. This is your 9th house of, oh, interesting. This is very, very congruent and cohesive with 9th house energy as far as travel is concerned. So Taurus, if you were traveling with difficulty in January, if things got all messed up, or maybe the trip didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, or there were any kind of other difficulties, or maybe it was a great trip and you had great travels and you've been wanting to go since that January trip, you're in good news here. You have this Chariot card, which is travel, which is victory, which is being able to move yourself forward. So it's really about getting things organized, getting things, all your ducks in a row. The Charioteer cannot afford to make a bad judgment call. They cannot afford to take a wrong decision or overestimate their income or overestimate anything, really. The Charioteer has to just be really sharp at all times. We even have the Sphinx here in this creepy little piece of art. I love it. Isn't this cool, you guys? It's just really a different way of looking at things with this deck. Very interesting. Okay. So I really feel like you're going to be able to move forward. You're going to be able, and this is also ambition. So if you had been coming up against obstacles this year, Taurus, with your ambition specifically, it was demanding that you change your perspective, because one of the wonderful, biggest, greatest rewards from travel is that you get to change your perspective. You're literally living life in a different spot on the planet, and that in effect is enough to change your views and change your perspective and change, you know, what you think and feel about life and the world and people all around you. So you're going to receive the benefit of that, whether you were traveling this year or not. Okay, my dear? So as long as you open your mind, keep an open mind, Taurus, you're going to be okay. And the solar eclipse is going to help you keep an open mind and open that mind right on up. Okay, so that was Taurus. Let's do Gemini. What do we have for the solar eclipse in Capricorn for Gemini, please? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 9 of Cups. This is interesting. She is very self-satisfied, but I'm so distracted by whatever it is that she's distracted by, whatever she's looking at. So this would be your 8th house. 8th house, Gemini. Okay, Gemini. So your 8th house, oh, that's what it is. I just saw the faces right now. It's even Geminian with these two faces, isn't it? With this face over here with these big eyelashes, and then these with these eyelashes. See, I didn't see that at first glance. I just saw her reaction, and now I see these two faces. One very stern looking, and then the other one very somber and sad looking. Excuse me. Hold on. Okay, so with this being your 8th house, Gemini, being activated by the solar eclipse, you're going to have... This past year, I feel like was on the harder side for you, Gemini, in terms of the give and take in relationships. You meet someone in the 5th house. I mean, we're talking romantic right now. You meet them in the 5th house, you have a drink, you go out dancing, you have dates. Okay, that's 5th house activity. You marry someone in the 7th house. That's where you sign the contract. That's where you make the commitment. 7th house commitment. And that's why it also rules your enemies, your agents, your publicists, your managers, your business associates as well, because it's about a commitment. It's about the strength of this connection between you two. The 8th house, right after that 7th house, the 8th house is how that relationship plays out in the day-to-day. So you meet in the 5th house, go on dates, you get married, make a commitment in the 7th house. The 8th house is where you decide who does the dishes, who stays home, who works, who pays what bills, whose responsibilities are what, and who keeps who to what. Okay, that's 8th house stuff. So with this Cancer, Capricorn family of eclipses, Gemini, you've had to undergo some rough stuff regarding your give and take in relationships. What is fair? What is equal? What matters to you? What's asking too much of you? And where you're not giving enough. Okay, so I feel like it's been really, 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 really stressful for a lot of Geminis out there in learning the hard way, because that's what Saturn and Pluto, I mean, they don't let us get away with anything, okay? Nothing. So for you guys, I'm sure that it was really, really tough and really, really hard. And I can assure you that if you've been working through this energy this past year, and while Saturn's been in Capricorn, while Pluto's been in Capricorn, if you've been doing the hard work and, doing your good little, with Saturn, what you earn, you get. Okay, just don't forget that one little tidbit, guys. I believe that you will have an easier time in 2020 with the 9 of Cups. You'll still be sort of tempted into trying to get away with something, or, reverting back to old ways of being and doing, but I'm not worried, because Saturn and Pluto are going to be right there to just give you a little smack in the behind right when you need it, just like they're there for the rest of us. So you have a pretty difficult house axis for this all to be playing out in, Gemini. So just keep in mind that you will be very satisfied and you will be very happy if you just surrender. That's the best that I can give you guys, is just to surrender into the equal give and take, and to not push it. Don't don't try to test that. Don't try to test, oh, let me see if I can get away with it. Nah, that's that karma that's playing out in your personal relationships, where that give and take is happening or where it's not happening. That's karma in your karma bank, and you can't fool it. You can't lie it. You can't cut the corners. Okay, so I'm connecting with Geminis that are going to be very good, that they're going to do well, that they're going to be well, and they have a lot to look forward to with that 9 of Cups energy. Okay, so that was Gemini. We have Cancer next. What do we have for our dear Cancers? This is the axis for this solar eclipse in Capricorn. The Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh. This is Romeo. Romeo. Where art thou, Romeo? My goodness gracious. Very valiant. Oh, and I see the face here too. Why do I feel like this is very dreamy? Very dreamy. So Cancer, this is your 7th house of relationships. This is your house of partnerships. So where I was talking about, if you've been hanging on for all the 12 signs, the 7th house is where we make a commitment. So I feel like the solar eclipse is going to reward you with some very good positive feeling between you and someone else. It could even be that you receive an offer of commitment from someone, Cancer, or you decide to offer your cup of love to someone else, if that applies. Obviously, if you're single and there ain't nothing going on, then you might meet someone, but the commitment might be down the road, but they will have this potential. Okay. So for you Cancerians, this entire year has been a lot about your relationships, how you relate inside of those relationships and who you are as an individual in those relationships. So with this Knight of Cups, I feel like you're about to be very much rewarded for your hard work and for the growth that you've been doing in learning about relationships, learning about how you behave, how they behave, you know, what is good behavior, and, you know, all of, you know, whatever your specific little mini lessons are, I feel like you have been taking them to heart. And I feel like it's been a very earnest learning experience for you, where you've been learning in a very honest way, where, you know, if you've been making mistakes, Cancer, I feel like they were very honest mistakes. And, you know, hopefully you've been turning those mistakes into lessons and not beating yourself up, not getting too down on yourself or being too harsh on yourself. You know, make sure to look back at that time in January. And if you've made mistakes, if you've trusted the wrong people, if you've, you know, whatever happened, whatever didn't happen, you know, be very kind with yourself now, because there is a very beautiful energy here for you. There is love. There is a possibility for true love. Okay, Cancer. So you're this next year, or this next 6 months that this eclipse is taking effect, could see you meeting the love of your life. I know that's a big thing to say, but that's what I'm getting. I'm just the messenger. I'm not judging anything that I'm channeling. I just get what I get. So, wow, Cancers. Excuse me. The Knight of Cups. That's kind of incredible. I feel like there's hold on. Yes. No, it's just confirming everything I said. Yes, about the 6 months. Yes, about, you know, a potential soulmate coming in. And it will be someone that has very warm feelings for you. Someone that you can really, really love and adore. So well done you if you've been doing, you know, all of this hard work this entire time. Don't you come up here. There's a cat here. Don't you come up here. You should go lay down. Okay, so that was Cancer. Let's take a look at Leos. What do we have for my Leos? This solar eclipse in Capricorn, please. The moon. Ooh, la luna. This is interesting. Take a look. The moon. Leo. Leo, we just had Cancer. Okay, so this would be, let me just, give me a second here. Yeah, that's your, I don't know why I keep counting. It's your 6th house. It's your 6th house. So be very, very careful, Leos, about your health. There could be confusion at work, and I feel like there probably has been confusion at work since January of 2019. So just be on the lookout. Make sure to make sure that you're looking at things as realistically as possible, because everyone, doesn't matter if you're a sun sign or if you're a fire sign, air sign, water sign, or earth sign, we can all be blinded by our own perspectives, our own feelings of things. And with this moon, I feel like there is deception. And oh, they're also telling me that some of you are going to be susceptible to an inaccurate diagnosis. If you're going for testing, if you're getting tested for things, I would get second and third opinions, because some of you will absolutely, this energy will manifest in terms of an incorrect diagnosis, and it won't favor you, and it won't be a good incorrect diagnosis. Like it could be potentially harmful for like maybe 1 or 2 of you. So be very, very diligent about the health and take care. Oh, the blood. Take care of your blood is what they're telling me. I mean, take care of your all around health. Also the mental health. I feel like some of you actually have a little bit of a stigma regarding taking care of your own mental health. So make sure that you're open-minded. Now the cat's in the brown bag. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and make sure that you're not running yourself ragged. You might be pushing yourself way too far, and maybe there was a little bit of that happening in January, and it's been sort of an ongoing thing, be very careful, because if you don't learn this lesson, it could turn into a very big manifestation and come out in a way that is very much like forcing you to take care of yourself and to take care of your health, and just wipe all the illusions away, wipe away all the confusion, where now you're in the hospital and now you're physically incapable of concentrating on anything else, and you're being forced to put yourself and your own health as number one priority. Okay, kiddos? All right, Leos. So that's Leo. Let's take a look at Virgo. Virgo, please. What do we have for Virgos for the Capricorn solar eclipse, please? We have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of Pentacles. Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Wow. So you Virgos and Capricorns got the 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. Very interesting. So Virgo, if things have been sort of tight or austere financially, look back in the beginning of January of 2019 and take a look at what was really draining your resources. What was draining your resources at that time, and what has been, you know, if you could have not been able to catch up, if you've always fallen sort of behind, really take an analytical look at your spending habits. What has been the leaky, they're showing me the boat with like one little hole that's like leaking, you know, find the plug, you know, find the leak in the boat and plug it up, because you have a wonderful opportunity coming with this solar eclipse next week, you know, beginning Christmas and going, it's lasting for 6 months. So this 10 of Pentacles, I feel like, is going to be a wonderful push, a wonderful, you know, boost for your finances. Let's see, that's September, October, November, December, January. That's your 5th house. So Virgos, you might have a wonderful chance to make money doing something you love. 5th house rules creativity, children. You could have either your children could be doing well financially, or your children could be a source of income for you, or the children of your mind and your heart and your creations, like what you put out into the world. If you create art, that artwork could have a wonderful 6 months where you just have like a spike in, you know, popularity. So I would really push for that. I would go for that. I would really focus your energies. You could have even started something in January, or something could have been, something significant could have been happening in January, where now it's about to pick up momentum, or now it's getting more attention, or there is just something, you know, moving with that. So keep an eye out for that, Virgo, because it's showing to be very lucrative and quite successful. It has great potential here. And it's like financial, like it's tangible, and it could lead to long-term success. So even if you just see like maybe a couple of the Pentacles, don't be disheartened. It's something that has the potential that, if you just keep at it, can lead to long-term financial longevity, long-term financial wealth and abundance. Remember that abundance and wealth is built over time. It's not like people just wake up super duper wealthy. They have to build it over time. They have to live below their means and save up in order to make a wise investment that multiplies their wealth, and then they make another wise. Okay, it's never like you just live up to the hilt of your income and then it just keeps flowing in from wherever. It's built over time, trust me. So that's what this is about. It's about building wealth over time and being wise about your resources. Okay, Virgo, so there's your little earth sign pep talk. Okay, that was Virgo. Libra, let's take a look at Libra. That was so gross, I'm sorry. Okay, Libra, this is your 4th house. Capricorn solar eclipse in your 4th house. King of Swords, another king. Oh my goodness, Libra, this is your energy, the King of Swords. So this is you, this is you taking control, mental control of the home, of your family, of your, they're telling me base of operations. So I feel like this is very far beyond just your family and just your house and your home. I feel like this is also having to do with taking control of your mental seat of power. And like I'm not getting decisiveness. So if you had problems with the family, with your maybe your parents are aging and you're looking for somewhere to put them, or landscaping or renovations with your home, you know, whatever it was, in January of 2019, you're going to find that you personally will be better at making decisions across the board. Okay, the King of Swords is very much in control of his own mental acuity, his own mental strengths. So gross. I'm so sorry. The King of Swords is very much in control of his own his own mind is what they're telling me, his own mind. Doesn't have to be a male, so just throw that out. Male or female, doesn't matter. King of Swords doesn't let anything go by him, okay? So also they're telling me that for some of you Libras, family members or people very familiar to you that feel like your tribe, that feel like family, have been sort of playing on your indecisiveness as well as your kindness in order to sort of get away with things. And that is something that you knew was going on, but you were not able to like sort of put your foot down with them because of that connection, because they're exploiting this closeness and this relationship and leveraging their relationship with you to achieve their little means, their little ends. And you're not like wanting to be petty in that sense, so you kind of just let it go. But that's actually over because yeah, with the solar eclipse in Capricorn, there's a bright brand new beginning, and it has to do, and it begins with your mind, Libra. It begins with you knowing your mind, being very sure of what you know, and letting that sword come down as diplomatically and with as much grace and humility and calmness as is possible. Okay, my dears, so there you are. You have that ability with you. You know, going into 2020 and going into the next decade, you're going to have the benefit, specifically in your home life, of being more decisive and being more take charge and being more confident in your own mind, in your own self, and not only just in your own mind, but of like externalizing this and putting this forward to the rest of the family, the rest of the clan, the rest of the group. So well done, you Libs. Okay, that was Libra. Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio for the solar eclipse in Capricorn, please? Oh no, the 5 of Cups. I'm sorry, Scorps. You're like one of my favorite signs. I'm sorry. Regret. You are a sad little Eeyore for this. And you know what this is? This is your 3rd house of communication, your solar 3rd house of communication. You're right there. You're right up there. This is a heavy mind, okay? Man, we haven't had like really any negative cards. I'm so sorry, Scorps. This is I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I feel it. This is going to be hard for me to shake off. I can feel it already. Scorpio, this is having to do with this is actually an existential sadness that is very, very difficult to shake. There's really nothing to be done. I hate to say that way. There could be siblings of yours, step siblings, half siblings, blood siblings, any kind of siblings that are giving you grief this year, that have been giving you grief. And I'm just going to tell you that it's going to continue. That whatever the contention is between you and your siblings, or you and certain communications, because it's not, the 3rd house is communication, but it's not, it's also siblings, but it's also the mind. It's also the mind. It's also speaking and little trips, you know, around the neighborhood. And I just feel like this is a bit of a heavy heart. And what I feel about this, it's not like you regret the relationships or the siblings, or, I mean, you might, but it's not that specifically. What I'm getting from this energy here is very much a general malaise, a general existential dissatisfaction, where it's almost like nothing can really assuage the sadness within. Oh, why did we go so dark? You just really brought the whole reading down, Scorpio. You really did. You really did, guys. Yes, you definitely, this is sad. And you know what? A lot of you are traveling. This is small travel, like you could be going to the beach if you live by a beach. You could even be traveling internationally. But what this has to do with, this is the axis of the 3rd house and the 9th house. It's the, like the lower thinking and then the higher thinking, the philosophical thinking that is more in the 9th house realm, the Cancerian. And you're going to have the full moon in Cancer in January 10th or 11th or so. But what I'm feeling from this is they just told me to stop. That's why I'm doing this. Hold on. And you know, it's not even about getting what you want. It's not about having what you always wanted. It's not about being with who you want to be with. It's, this is a sadness that kind of just goes very, very, very far back. This feels like an artist. This feels like an artist temperament. This is, okay, thank you. This is Gomez Adams. They're giving me Gomez Adams. You know how Gomez is like always tortured and always like, you know, there's always, he's just tormented, kind of always tormented and always going through something very dramatic, a very difficult man to live with. Not for Morticia, but for anyone else, they'd be like, oh my God, stop, you know, get over it, you know, whatever. And, but for him, he's really feeling everything that he's saying. He's really feeling the depression. He's really feeling the dread and the terror and the horror. And it's played up for laughs, you know, on TV and in the movies, but that's really his experience. Like if that were real, he would really be, you know, moping around the house, just head in his hands, totally beside himself. Even though he has a big, beautiful house, a lot of doubloons in the secret vault, a beautiful wife, 2 great kids, his sibling down the hall, grandma in the basement making supper, he's still tormented. That's what I feel like this is. Gomez Adams. Is that it? Yes, that is it, because I started with, oh my God, we almost made it without something so like, but honestly, that energy is what I was kind of picking up on before I sat down to do this, this particular reading, and I didn't want it to just be this little black cloud hanging over this reading, so I'm kind of glad that it came out the way it was supposed to come out, and now I know who it was. It was a Scorps. I knew it was either Scorpio or Capricorn, so there we have it. There we have it, guys. That is the solar eclipse for all 12 signs for the daily. Ooh, and we're only at 48 minutes. That's quite incredible. Let's go ahead and just for the day, let's take a look at the Moonology and see if there's anything that wants to be known. Is there any advice that we can get for our dears, please, watching at home? What advice do we have about this? Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces energy. Okay, guys, you heard it first. Meditate and contemplate. I know you're like, we've been doing that, Natalie. We've been doing that. Well, I mean, it's got to do a little bit more. We got to do a little bit more. No, leading up to the eclipse. Now, usually things don't happen like right on the day of the eclipse. What you need are other planets to activate it. We need other I mean, for instance, Jupiter moving into Capricorn. Some people could have started to feel that right away. Others will need to have a kickoff like the eclipse to feel that Jupiter in Capricorn. And then, of course, it's how it all plays out in your individual charts. So, so just know that, just keep that in mind. But we can use this time, the last couple weeks of the decade, to meditate and contemplate. Okay, my dears? Okay, let's go ahead, and for the lovers, for anyone going through, excuse me, love situations. If you're thinking about someone right now, if you've been very distracted watching this reading and you're thinking about someone, what advice do we have? Ooh, okay. Pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. So whoever you're thinking about, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. Don't just like, oh, look at a nice little red flag, and just keep going. No, oh my God, it's a red flag. You just turn, you run the opposite direction. Okay, that's what they're there for. They're there to get your attention and to say no. Okay, so make sure you're paying attention to those red flags, because it's only going to make it better for you in the end to listen to the red flags. Otherwise, Saturn and Pluto is going to kick your behind. Okay, my dears, that's what we have for you today. I know a little bit unorthodox, but you know, there we go. All right, my dears, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me for January and get your January 2020 forecast, or get something for the year or about your love life in particular, January bookings are open. We are going back to the 7-day turnaround. Oh my gosh, I'm right on schedule with getting the last of the readings done by the end of December. The end of the decade, they'll be done. Okay, they're going great. It's it feels great. I'm just so happy to get these out for people and everything. So make sure to sign up. Everything's going to be 25% off for, I don't know, a week or so. So, excuse me. Go ahead and make your reservations to, and I'll be doing them in the order received for January. So you will have them 7 days from January 1st. Okay, guys. So I got to finish these guys that I got at the end of for December, and then beginning January 1st, there will be that 7-day turnaround. Yay! And excuse me. And yeah, I better sign off before I just get phlegm everywhere. So there's that, theartigan.com/shop. If you guys need anything else, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.